Looks like you're turning into quite the little shopper. See, you got your fresh produce, and your fresh meat, and your country fresh milk. Country fresh, Vern. Fresh from the country. Country, fresh, country. Catch my drift? That's why they call it country fresh. Now, it don't take no mental heavyweight to figure that out, does it, Vern? Know what I mean?
There's a small little town, really cool little town. That dog will not stop. I'm here today doing a video about Jim Varney. Everybody remembers Jim Varney. Everybody loves Jim Varney, I think. Now I'm with a friend of mine named Pete from the Totally 80s room on Instagram and YouTube.
Yep.
And you're a native of this area.
Yeah.
Grew up around here.
Yep. Lived in this area a long time. Yep.
And not only that, you love 80s stuff.
I love 80s stuff. Yeah. And Jim Varney.
Right.
You know.
I think I saw Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Scared Stupid. But there's, I think, 6 movies. And then another movie he made early on where he played the character, but it's not called Ernest Goes to whatever. It's
all of the, well, Ernest the character actually started probably in the 70s.
Yeah, 1972.
Late 80s. He was probably the first kind of viral star before the internet, because he was doing tons of commercials.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to hire his character, Ernest.
He came up with the character, right?
To promote their product. He came up with the character. And
ice cream, fast food. What was it? And hey, Vern.
I mean, car dealerships and.
And you said he was on local TV.
He did. He did local cable for advertising for tons of companies, hundreds of commercials. Yeah.
Turned it into a huge enterprise.
Yep. And he was starring in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he was on a Johnny Cash TV show for a while in the late 70s. I read that. I didn't know anything about that.
He was on a lot of He was on a lot of shows. Really famous guy. I mean, it's hard to, it's been a while since he's been gone, but I mean, he was...
Yeah, 2000. He died in the year 2000, age of 50, from lung cancer. He had part of his right lung removed, but that wasn't enough. He was diagnosed, I think, in 99 and within a year. But I'm going to be going over to his grave later on to visit. I've gotten so many requests to go to his grave all the time. He's buried in Lexington, at the Lexington Cemetery. So I'm going to go there in this video after I leave Pete later on, after a few days. But Pete, you know where he lived and where he died.
Yeah, everybody that kind of lives in White House is a suburb of Nashville.
Right.
And everybody locally, they knew that Jim lived right here.
Give me a sec. So so you said, why don't you do his house as well? When I was telling you I was going to visit Jim Varney after I leave
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So White House is a suburb of Nashville.
Right.
And everybody that lives in this area, they knew that Ernest lived.
Yeah.
Right down there.
Yeah. If you look it up on Google Maps, it actually comes up the Jim Varney house.
Yeah.
But it's up this long road, and then we're gonna have to park our car and walk down a dirt road. You said?
I think it's dirty. I think it's made of dirt.
So we're gonna walk up a dirt road, but we'll drive up a little bit, talk more about Ernest, see what we can see of his house. Now I believe his house, I don't think his family owns it anymore. I'm not sure. So we'll probably just have to get some shots of the house from the driveway. Can't drive right up to it from what I could tell on Google. But it's like a tourist attraction, but you can't really get to it.
Yeah.
But you said you and your friends used to come out and see it, and
Sure.
He lived here,
and everyone kind of drives through. And
yeah. But we won't disturb the current occupants. We'll just take a quick look at the house and show you where Jim Varney lived, and sadly where he passed away, right here at his home. Let's go. So Pete, we made it down the end of the road. Yep. So his house is down here.
Yep.
This is what I've looked up, and this is you've known for years, right?
Yep.
We can just take a walk down and
Sure.
quickly.
Yeah.
I guess I should tell more about his life. I'll tell you right now. A little more in depth as we walk down this long road. If you look it up on Google Maps, it actually says the Jim Varney House, and you can come all the way up and see all this stuff is still here. Let's walk down.
There's an eagle over here.
So Jim was born on June 15, 1949, up in Lexington, Kentucky, and he began acting in local theater at the age of 8. He was Puck in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream in 1965. In 1967, he moved to New York City, where he became a stand-up comedian, and he acted in dinner theater and off-Broadway productions. He got his first big break in 1976 when he was cast as a regular in their variety television series Johnny Cash and Friends, and he went on to appear in a bunch of TV shows. And he first introduced Ernest P. Worrell in a regional television commercial in 1972. And his first big screen appearance came in 1986 when he played Ernest and a number of other characters in a movie called Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam, which he co-wrote. In 1987, Disney released Ernest Goes to Camp, and it was made for only $3.5 million, but returned at the box office $24 million, so it was a pretty big hit. And then Ernest Saves Christmas, made for $6 million, earned $28 million. And then Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Rides Again, Ernest Goes to School, Ernest in the Army. And of course, he was in the big screen version of the Beverly Hillbillies. He played Jed Clampett. Here's his house right here. You're looking at it right there. And he was Slinky the dog in Toy Story 2. He's in Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain with Hulk Hogan. And sadly, yes, it was at this house where he died. His last project was Daddy and Them, starring and directed by Billy Bob Thornton. Kentucky at the Lexington Cemetery, so north of where Jim Varney lived, and should be right around this area. You can find a grave, and they're usually pretty accurate. I have a feeling it might be this one right here. I'm not certain, but it has a lot of things. Yes, it is right here. So this is section C1. When you come in the front entrance, go all the way around to the left until you hit C1. Look at this big old tree right here. Well, there's about 1,800 big old trees right around, but look for that one. Jim Varney's right here. Wow. All these little bridges in the cemetery. This is quite an old cemetery. This reminds me of the cemetery in Louisville, where Muhammad Ali is. Not too far from Louisville right now, about 2 hours, I guess. But very, very similar. And here he is, Jim Varney. James Albert Jr., June 15th, 1949 to February 10th, 2000. And as you can see, they got Slinky the dog from Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2. Nice picture of Jim Varney right there. Ernest P. Worrell. Lots of stuff. As you can see, a lot of people brought pennies, quarters. Still a Christmas decoration here. Wow. Let's take a look on the other side. Oh, wow. And on the back says, Varney, suffer the little children to come unto me. Mark 10:14. The jeans. Bottle of mellow yellow with some roses. Wow. Actually, we'll put that right there. Let's move these pennies aside. Not taking them away ever. Leave something on a grave. Never take anything from a grave. That's for Mr. Varney right there. One thing about Jim Varney that I always admired was he seemed like such a nice guy. And dealing with pop culture and dealing with celebrities, I don't cover too many celebrities, like especially if I'm going to go visit their graves and things like that. I don't. I have to know a little bit about them, about their personal life. Like, I want to like them. And, you know, because some celebrities maybe aren't likable. And I wouldn't really care to visit them. And someone like Jim Varney just was lovable and was apparently just the nicest guy to his fans, nice guy in real life, and I love that. And he was a huge star, and usually the bigger they are, the nicer they are. So Jim is right here, and his parents, James and Louise, are buried not too far, just 3 graves over. They're right here. Wed July 18th, 1938. Wow. And I do know that his sister is here, Joe. And I'm not exactly sure where. You know, try to navigate my way through. I'm pretty sure she's here somewhere, right nearby. I don't know. I think it would be a newer tombstone. Let me see. It says that she's right around here somewhere, and I don't actually see her grave. I believe she married a gentleman by the last name of Kelly. So I'm also looking for the last name of Kelly. Oh, Kelly. Here we go. Joe Gale Varney. There we are. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Kelly. Fred Ross. He died in 2017. His sister died young, as you can see. 47 years old. 46 years old. Wow. So, actually I didn't have to go that far. I walked all the way around. His sister, his parents, and Jim Varney right here. There we are. It is oddly very, very cold today here in Lexington. It was snowing when I came into the cemetery. Snowing. You don't see that too often down here. Wow. Another little bridge there. That's my visit to Jim Varney's grave. And rest in peace, Jim Varney. Rest in peace to your parents and your sister as well. Both siblings died young, 50 years old and 46. Far too young. Thank you for all the entertainment through all the years. Peace to all of you watching. Love you all. Peace out.